A stranger shows up at the atelier door. Dark hair, beard, no introduction. He looks at Coco, and the first thing out of his mouth is, "Who are you? Who sent you? Are you one of Alera's messengers?" And when Qifrey tells him Coco is a victim of forbidden magic, this man grabs her arm. He immediately decides that he's going to hand her over to the authority, to the witch authority. Who is that, you ask? Well, it's the Knights of Moralis. No conversation, no hearing her out. That's where we are at the end of chapter 8, headed into chapter 9 of Witch Hat Atelier. His name is Olruggio, and his role is specific. He's the watchful eye appointed to Qifrey's atelier. Qifrey explains it plainly. Small countryside ateliers that operate away from places like Callan and the Great Hall can become isolated. Issues can get buried, so the system puts a second witch on site in charge to balance things out. Someone whose job is to see everything and report it. Olruggio is that person. And the moment he finds out about Coco, his instinct is immediate. He references the brim caps, and that name matters because it signals he already knows what category this situation falls into: forbidden magic, outside involvement. Hand the girl over to the Knights of Moralis. That's the protocol. And Olruggio is a protocol man. But Qifrey stops him. He lays out the full picture. Coco didn't seek this out. She was a child who was given a book she didn't understand by someone who knew exactly what they were doing. Erasing Coco's memory that night would have meant losing the only lead they had. And it would have meant abandoning a girl to the consequences of something that was done to her, not by her. Olruggio listens and he agrees to let her stay. That agreement matters because it means the Knights of Moralis aren't coming yet. But now we know they exist, and Qifrey makes sure Coco knows too. Stay with me on this. The Knights of Moralis, full name, the Order of Moral Spell Casting, or which is sworn to uphold the principles of the pact. Their job is to erase the memories of anyone who uncovers the secret of magic and any witch who crosses into forbidden territory. They work without debate, without exception. But here's the part that stops Coco cold. It's not just memories they take. They erase the passion for magic as well. All of it gone. Think about what that means for Coco specifically. Everything that drives her, the wonder, the hunger to learn, the reason she's fighting to still save her mother, or she's still fighting to save her mother. That's what would have been taken, not just the knowledge, the feeling. Let's look at what I would call what the system is protecting and what it costs. Now, here's what I want you to notice about how these chapters are built. Right before Olruggio arrives, before any of the institutional weight drops, we get one of the quieter, warmer scenes in the story so far. Coco is still struggling a little bit with magic. Oh, well, she appears to be tired this day. She can't get her fire and levitation magic to work together. She keeps falling asleep every time she sits down to study. She's starting to spiral into self-doubt, catching herself, forcing herself back up, and then spiraling again from being tired. Qifrey sees it, and instead of pushing her harder, he takes her basically downstairs to the kitchen. He has her cook. He gives her a yam, tells her to use the fireball sigil. Fire, which looks like it's suspended in air, is the tool for the job to cook this yam, and coaches her through the size and the balance of the flame. She gets it wrong once, adjusts, and pulls it off. And when it's done, he asks, "Still sleepy?" And guess what? She's not. He points out directly, when you need to improve on something, particularly your magic, make it a part of your daily life. Magic isn't just only for tests and formal study. It belongs in the kitchen, in the cooking, in the meal you share with people you care about. That's how it becomes yours. And basically, he's telling her to integrate magic into everything that she can possibly do in her day-to-day life. And of course, again, this is really good writing by the mangaka, because this lesson isn't just about technique. It's about what magic is actually for. Look at everything surrounding it. Teddy and Richie are eavesdropping from the stairs, hungry and excited. Coco takes charge of the meal. Coco suggests a picnic, And so they plan for one, but it starts raining, and Qifrey cast a shield, and they were able to eat outside under a walkway underpath. Brush Buddy on Coco's shoulder, three girls and their masters sitting under the spell while the rain comes down. Agott did not join them because she is studious in practicing her magic. Either way you look at it, this atelier is alive. Magic woven into ordinary life, into cooking, into lunch, into small joy of not letting the weather ruin their afternoon. That's what these chapters give us between the heavier beats. And it matters because the heavier beats are still coming. Let's look at what I would like to call the man who built the beginning. After Olruggio lets Coco stay or agrees with Qifrey to let Coco stays, Qifrey quietly tells her something useful. Olruggio keeps almost entirely to himself, deep in his own workshop at the other end of the catwalk. Days can pass without a sighting. So when the little brush buddy escapes off her shoulder and runs into the workshop, she has to go behind him. The door is marked with a warning about knocking. It's the last place she wants to follow the brush buddy into, but she has to. And Olruggio is there. He's curt. He hands her back the brush buddy, but he drives him off with a spell. Tells her to leave and not touch anything. This is going to be standard Olruggio. And then Coco looks down and she recognizes the stone on the floor. She kneels and touches them, and she tells him, "These are the cobblestones that light up when you step on them." She walked on those all day as a child, and it's one of the first things that made her fall in love with magic. She was a little girl at the castle festival, and the ground would glow under her feet. And in that moment, she felt like she had magic inside of her. That feeling became a dream. That dream became everything she's been chasing ever since. Olruggio tells her it's the contraption he's best known for. Stones nestled together, one with a sigil, one with a ring. Press them, and the seal is whole. Simple design, basically. He doesn't understand how she finds it fascinating, but she has. It was the joy of her childhood, her introduction to magic. But that's exactly it. To him, it looks simple, just a craft, something he made because it was useful, because it was his specialty. He had no idea that somewhere out there, a little girl stepped on his cobblestones and decided she wanted to live in the world of magic. He didn't know he was anyone's beginning love for magic. Now he does. And she's standing right in front of him, an apprentice witch in his workshop because of a road that started with something he built and forgot about it. Coco leaves, and Olruggio turns, walks back through the door and says quietly to no one that they would take away her passion for magic too. What this means if the Knights of Moralis would wipe Coco's memory, that her passion would be gone, and it was something that he created initially that basically is what gave her her passion for magic. That line is very, very important. It's not just a man observing what the Knights of Moralis do. It's someone who just found out that he's part of why this particular girl has that passion, and the system he serves would erase it. That's the weight he's carrying when he walks back through that door at that moment, and it sticks with him. I mentioned that through chapter 8 and 9, of course, Agott was practicing her magic, and I called chapter 8 and 9 what would be a normal day or a day in the life of the girls at the atelier. But I want to focus on something with Agott. The world is expanding, and Agott is ready to practice her magic. So chapter 9 ends, or the latter part of chapter 9, there's a knock at the door, and a man is drenched, and he is desperate for help. The crossing bridge over the staircase river has collapsed in the rain. There's a carrot stranded in the water current. His son is in it. Qifrey says that he'll go immediately. So the man came asking for help. And Agott is listening, and Agott immediately she steps forward, and she wants to participate as well. She says, "I want to help. I'm ready. I'm ready to take on a situation basically like this." We've been watching Agott this whole chapter, closed in her room, working through seals in the storm, pushing her concentration against the wind and the noise. She closes the ring on her first try and tells herself she's ready for the next step. So Agott has been practicing magic. She's been studying, practicing new seals to take her to the next level of testing. Now, whether Coco's presence in the atelier has anything to do with the intensity is worth considering. Agott has always been disciplined, but there's someone new here now who came in through a side door, and Agott is not the kind of person who takes that quietly. So we always look at these stories and we always see the one trope where there's a rivalry that makes you stronger or pushes you. And in this story, I believe Coco is the rivalry, the healthy rivalry that's now pushing Agott. Now, when she hears that there's a real situation happening where someone needs help, it's not a test, it's not a drill, a carriage is in danger, something shifts. This is it. Real experience. And that's what Agott is after. So she's ready to step up to the next level with her magic, but she needs that real experience. And this is the opportunity for her to say, Master, I want to go. I want to help. This is the real experience that I need. The things she's actually been training for, situations like this. Qifrey tells all four of them to stay. It's too dangerous. And Agott says no, she wants to go. And she says she's ready. She says she knows that she is ready for this because, of course, she's been practicing. And that's where chapter 9 leaves us. The atelier door opens, a rescue is underway, and a girl who's been holding herself to an impossible standard is finally pushing to be seen. We'll find out in chapter 10 whether she gets that chance or not. These two chapters are doing a lot of quiet and careful work. Olruggio has entered the story, a witch who represents the institution, who does his job, and who sits privately with what the job costs the people it touches. But his contact with Coco has given him something he didn't have before, context. And that context has a way of changing how a person sees the rules they follow. The Knights of Moralis have been named and described. And underneath all of it, there's a girl who inspired someone without even knowing it, and a girl in the next room who has been pushing herself harder than anyone has asked her to, waiting for a moment to prove she belongs. That's Witch Hat Atelier. That's what these chapters are building. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you for watching, for hanging in there. I hope you are enjoying these videos. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and comment for more Witch Hat Atelier and other manga content that I will be covering at this channel. Feel free to share this video. I'll meet you at the next Pointed Hat discussion. As always, keep talking manga with me. Thanks for stopping by and watching.